Hello, good evening. Welcome to Tuesday's programme. First tonight, the Prime Minister has told East Midlands today that new businesses are replacing jobs under threat in this region's traditional industries.
David Cameron was in Leicestershire to see how our taxes are being spent improving the motorway network.
Well, let's cross to Catthorpe. It's near Lutterworth, and that's where our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball has been following the visit. Good evening, Jeremy.
Hello there, Anne. Yeah, this is going to be a huge new motorway interchange linking two of our busiest motorways, the M1 just behind me over here and the M6 that ends just behind me on this side. And this is a project that's costing almost £200 million. Well, today the Prime Minister came here to see how that money's being spent. He was accompanied by his Chancellor, George Osborne, and after looking at the plans, they headed out to meet workers here at Catthorpe, the men and women who've been employed on this vast construction project. And afterwards, I asked David Cameron why this scheme's so important for our region's economy.
Well, it's important to see for myself this really important infrastructure project. You know, we need our roads to be working well. We need people to be able to get around the country. Schemes like this actually improve road safety, and everybody knows where the M1 and the M6 meet and the A14 as well. There have been a lot of traffic, a lot of accidents, and this is going to make things better.
And this is about showing off economic success stories, isn't it? But we all know in the East Midlands traditional industries, it's been a really tough time. We've just heard the last cigarette factories closing down. We've just heard the last deep coal mines closing down. What do you say to the hundreds of people in those industries that are losing their jobs?
Well, we need to make sure we're growing the economy and creating new jobs, and we are. There are over 1.5 million more people in work today than there were 4 years ago. Here in the East Midlands, got 72,000 more people in work. So yes, of course you see some industries facing difficult times, but new businesses, new jobs, new investment are coming, including here in the East Midlands.
A lot of those new jobs in the East Midlands, though, are part-time jobs, 0 hours contracts. Is that the way you want things to go?
No, that's not what I want, but actually if you look at the employment figures, we've seen the biggest level of growth in permanent employment, permanent full-time jobs. And in the East Midlands, you've seen a fall in the number of people claiming unemployment benefit, 5,000 fewer people unemployed than at the time of the last election, a lot of new private sector jobs, a lot of new businesses starting up, 400,000 businesses nationwide, more than when I became Prime Minister. So we are seeing growth in our economy, but what matters is making sure that growth is felt across the country, not just London and the South East. And transport has a huge role to play in that. That's why motorway schemes matter, that's why HS2 and railways matter. I want all of the country to benefit from this economic growth.
And of course, there's no coincidence the Prime Minister and the Chancellor chose to come here to talk up the region's economy. You might just have noticed there's a European election coming up next month. And if the result doesn't go David Cameron's way, well, of course, he might need a lot more than these hard hats and goggles to protect him from the political fallout.
I think he might indeed, Jeremy. We'll leave it there for now. Thanks very much. Next tonight, the owner of an animal rescue centre has appeared in court to face more than 30 neglect charges.
One of the allegations relates to the death of a pig, which made the news itself after it was rescued from being kept in a house. Mike O'Sullivan reports from Stafford Magistrates Court.
The former veterinary